Welcome to the Friendly Talk Podcast.
Welcome back, y'all.
Hi, we're going to talk about relationships because everyone's in one, whether it be
Hey, wait, but me.
friendship, relationship, marriage,
okay,
just
yeah.
relationships in general.
Yeah, that's true. I'm in a relationship with
all
my
the
friends.
red pill shit that's just all over my For You page.
Right. So make sure you explain to those who don't know what red pill is.
I'm not even
not
really
me asking for myself.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Red pill shit is just like relationship drama and like talk from a guy's perspective.
Okay.
Kind of like Kevin Samuels stuff.
So a certain type of man, just not from a guy, from a certain type of man who feels like...
Maybe.
Okay.
Well, funny enough, me and Eva, for the first time, I think, are kind of like disagreeing on something because she was telling me before we started recording that she thinks Kevin Samuels is a little bit extreme.
Well, was
because he R.I.P. He died fucking a hooker. It'd be like that sometimes. So she thinks that Kevin Samuels was extreme, and I don't think so. So I'm interested to see what you have to.
Well, I never watched the whole episode. It was just people would tag, and I never watched. Like I never went looking for his shit either.
Yeah.
If I don't, girl, I be trying to get my own shit off the ground to be watching what the fuck people got going on. But I would see clips that people would send me, and from what I could see in the clips, it just seemed like he was very anti-black woman.
Okay.
In the clips, I don't know if that's how he was.
So a lot of black women say that, and a lot of black women used to hate him and still do, and were like kind of like happy when he died, which I thought was hilarious.
I didn't have any emotions when he died.
But well, in his defense, so what he would do is he would go on Instagram Live or YouTube Live, and people would call in and ask him questions, and a majority of his audience were black people, women and men.
Okay.
So it would just so happen that all the women that would try to talk to him and ask him questions were black women.
Okay.
So he would just give them advice, like.
Okay.
So it always seemed like he was attacking black women, but I'm like, these are women that are asking him to talk to him. You know what I'm saying? So it's just
I can see that. But then one of the clips I saw was him like listing the reasons why he would choose another race over black. And I mean, who called and asked that?
That's crazy.
Like who the fuck called you and asked that?
So like he would for those of you who don't know Kevin Samuels, he would just basically like tell women that they needed to be thin and pretty and athletic to like be able to get married and stuff. And a lot of women would be like, well, I'm 5'4" and I'm 200 pounds. And he would be like, well, you're obese. He was kind of a bully. Yeah, but he would bully men too. There's
a lot of women who are overweight and married and happy.
Yes. So he would bully men too. And he would be like, well, if you don't have your finances up, you shouldn't be dating. You need to, you know what I'm saying? Like so I feel like he would equally clown men and women. So he got this reputation that he was like a woman hater. And I'm like, I don't think so. I think he was just telling people that they should be the best versions of themselves. Right. He would tell women they need to be feminine. He would tell men they need to be masculine. Like he was very... I
don't disagree with that.
He was very much about the social norms of like back in the day. So he would just like instill that in women's heads, and he would be like, he would tell women, because they would be like, well, I'm educated and I'm this and I'm that and I can't find a man. And he would be like, that doesn't matter when it comes to men.
No, it doesn't.
So you know what I'm saying? Right. So he would try to give women these... He would try to teach women how to like.
Was he a therapist? Like, what was his credentials?
I don't know. I don't think he was anything other than.
He just had a mic and niggas.
Yeah.
Listened? Oh, okay.
So it's like I was gonna ask you, like, I watch a lot of the red pill stuff. Like, I don't think women know exactly what men want. Do you think women know?
Nah. I think some women think they know and they try to mold themselves into that.
Yeah.
But nah.
For example, like a lot of women will be like, I cooked for him, I cleaned for him. And I'm like, men don't fall in love through your actions. Men fall in love with how you make him feel about himself. You could never cook or clean or do anything, but if you made him feel like a man and you stroked his ego, he would fall in love with you. That's really all that matters, I think.
I mean, I
think after a certain amount of time, obviously they want someone to like cook and clean for them. But in the beginning, it's like, that's why they say the nice woman never gets.
Oh no, she
gets the short end of the stick.
Always. Always.
So that's what I was just like. But you were telling me about like how women need to pick better.
Yes, girl. Okay, so can I tell you about my friend?
Yes.
I have a friend that I knew from Jamaica. She lived in Jamaica. We were very close with families, friends. And she moved to America and she ran off on her visa. So visas have an expiration date.
Yeah.
She stayed longer, overstayed her welcome, in the country. So now she's here legally.
Okay.
Now, she's staying in Philly with some people. She ends up getting pregnant for someone.
Oh, God.
The guy, her baby daddy, is also here legally from Jamaica.
Okay.
So because she can't find no work, because she has no working documents, she has no green card, none of that shit to get a job. She was working off the books, but when people know you're desperate, they will abuse you.
Yes.
So she's working at off the book stuff, and it was just like the most horrific work conditions, like just straight up abuse from these people because they know she has no choice.
That's terrible.
Very terrible. So she quits the job, ends up in a homeless shelter with her son because she literally cannot find work.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, you ran off on your visa, you're here legally. That was hard enough for you. Why did you add a child to the, like, why would you lay with someone who literally cannot do anything for you?
Yeah. It's like you're digging yourself deeper into a ditch.
Why would you look, like, you looked at him and he was as bad off as you and you said, let's reproduce. Even if it was an accident, like my thing is when you're at a certain point in your life, your vagina needs to be close to certain motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Cause I'm sure she didn't plan. I mean, I'm sure it probably was a surprise that she got pregnant, but it's like, but you should not have been laying down with this man.
Yeah.
The time that she was laying with him, you could have been finding somebody who could marry you, get your papers.
Or at least provide for you. Or do something for you, get you out of homelessness.
You and your baby are in the homeless shelter, shorty.
So where is he? With them?
Nah, he's not with them.
So he's not homeless?
Nah, he's not homeless.
So he knocked her up and then was like, oh, you're on your own.
Yeah, well, he's staying with his family. His family's like, we don't got no space for her.
That's...
But I'm like, so she and then
it's like, why did you choose that man to be your baby's father?
I don't know.
Sometimes, like, people could talk shit about men all they want, say men ain't shit and this and that. And it's like, I get that to a certain degree, but at a certain point, like, a woman needs to be responsible for herself and her own actions. It's like, you chose to pick a man that's not going to do anything for you. You can't do anything for yourself. Right. And then you chose a man who can't do anything for you either. Like, you're at fault.
Like, you made your situation so much worse. And it's like, I feel so bad for her because it's like, this is someone who I knew from childhood. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, damn, son, I hate to see you like this. And what blows my mind too is like a lot of times immigrants come here and they live worse off than because back home she's not like she has a nice ass crib.
That's what people have this idea that America is like this, like safe but then base for money and getting your shit. And it's like not really.
And when you come here and you see it's not working out for you, there's no shame in going home. But nigga, they would rather be here hungry and struggling than to go home and say, yo, it's not for me.
Yeah, it's like what's so special about America that
they made such a big deal, like, oh yeah, I'm going to foreign, I'm going here, I'm going. You know what I'm saying? They made such a big.
I'm pretty sure if she went back home, she could find a job.
Bro, her house back home.
So she's just slumming it out
of the homeless shelter she at now.
So she's just slumming it out in the shelters just to be in America. For what purpose?
A lot of Jamaicans. I'm gonna speak for Jamaicans because I don't know. I'm sure there's other immigrants just like this, but I'm gonna just speak about my family and people I know. They come here and it's like, damn, it's not what I thought it was gonna be, but I ain't going back to Jamaica. So people could laugh at me. I didn't make it in America. So I tell you, I know people who
public
live like
perception will be the death of people.
They live worse than like Bombi lives a better life than them. My dog live a better life than them here in America. Back home, they live in alright or good. Yeah. But they rather live like a dog in America than live good back home because they just want to be able to say they live in America.
I always tell people when finding a long-term partner, women should always pick a guy who loves her more than she loves him.
Absolutely. My great grandmother told me that.
The only way a relationship works long-term is when he loves you more than you love him. That means he's not going to cheat. He's not going to be mean to you. He's going to be nice to you. Like, and if the woman is nice, she'll reciprocate, obviously.
Right. But men cheat even when they're in love, I think.
Not if he loves her more, though.
Okay.
I think if he loves her more, he would be too scared to lose her.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like sometimes...
I mean, obviously, I feel like that's situational, but I feel like if a guy loves her that much, he's not going to cheat, no matter what's going on. Because cheating is also a sign of just like a man being broken on the inside.
Yeah, I know men who, I personally know men who cheat, and it's just like, like they love her a lot, and like, oh, you know, like,
but she's still
they'll keep something on the side because it's like, just in case she decides to leave me, I still got some pussy right here, like.
I could see that.
So they can love you all their heart and still cheat because they feel like you're, you know, out of their league or. Just to keep the pussy around.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, when it comes to back to what I was saying earlier, like men, it's all about their ego.
Yes.
And that's why when people are like, well, his wife is so beautiful. How can he cheat on her with some like 4 or 5 and his wife's a 10? And it's like, because his wife's a 10, he feels less than. So the 4 is going to make him feel like he's Brad Pitt or some beautiful supermodel. So he's going to go with that instead of just being faithful to his wife because he needs the ego boost.
They always, most of the time, they cheat down too.
Always.
I've never seen somebody cheat.
I've never seen someone cheat.
I don't think they can do it. Do they know how to do that?
I don't know.
I don't think so. I heard a man say, if I'm a cheat up, I might as well just leave my bitch and go get her.
I mean, I will say, like, though, do you remember when that whole Adam Levine scandal happened? At least he was. Adam Levine
another white
Maroon
person. I
5.
know that name. Okay.
His wife is Victoria's Secret supermodel, and they have kids and everything. They've been married for years, and he was trying to cheat on her with another model. I'm like, at least it was another model.
Okay, there we go.
At least it was another model, you know? Because if it was if it was the nanny or something, I'd be tight. But I'm like, oh, okay, she's another model. She's beautiful.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he slid in her DMs and she screenshot and posted on her story.
No, I see. All right, that's corny of her. I would have screenshot and sent it to her wife and his wife in a DM.
She wanted her moment of fame.
Yeah, that was. She's a corny bitch. She's a corny bitch.
Dumb.
She's a corny bitch. Because I have some celebrities in my DMs who are married or live with their baby moms. And I've screenshot and sent to my homegirl in a text, like we in a group chat chopping it up, keying. But I've never sent it to a wife because it's like you know your wife, you know your husband. I'm not the first bitch he slid in the DMs. You've probably done gotten 17 screenshots. I'm not gonna you're not leaving.
I've had a guy like stay in my DMs, like not even famous or anything, like a guy from my community, like an Arab, and I was like, if you message me again, I will send this to your wife, and he blocked me immediately.
Because God forbid.
I was just like, what are you? I was so offended that you think that I would be so pathetic and so desperate for a guy's attention that I would talk to a guy who's married.
Yo, and that's
a guy who is from my community. And like, what did you, do you think I just want to, do you think I want to text somebody that badly that I just want to chit chat with someone all day? Because that's what he was trying to do. He was just trying to chit chat with me. And I'm like, bro, I will tell your wife and block.
Yeah. So
I was like, yep.
You said men who cheat are broken and women who do the side bitch thing, they're broken as well.
Yeah.
I'll take your man, but all that bravado it's just to cover a broken woman who with low self-esteem and feels like she's not worthy of her own love, so she might as well share.
If I was ever talking to a guy or being with a guy and some girl messaged me like, I would be like, oh, he's yours, I'm sorry. Like,
yeah, I would never fuck nobody man knowingly. I've had women approach me like, oh, you know, he's married. I'm like, oh, okay, my bad, shorty. I won't suck his dick again. I ain't know. My bad. Did I say no? But
also, it's like if you're with someone and there's no trace of you on his social media or in his life or on his phone or anywhere, it's like, you don't think that's a red flag?
Yeah. I had one girl, they were engaged. I had no idea, never mentioned. They had a wedding date, wedding shits went out, all of that.
Were you guys on socials, like friends on socials?
Yeah, we were on Instagram, but there was no sign.
That's crazy.
And she approached me and she was like, you know, she wants to fight me. We in person. I'm like, oh, I apologize. I had no idea.
Yeah.
I'm like, I swear to you, he never mentioned I asked if he was seeing someone. He said no.
You need to fight your man.
Girl, and then she's like, and I was like, I had no idea about you. She's like, yeah, I know, but I still want to fight you.
What?
Because some women, it's misdirected anger.
Yeah.
What am I gonna do? Fight the man who, like, you know what I'm saying? I love him. Even though he's the one that's gonna, cause my thing is, what you gonna fight? Every bitch, every time?
It's not the girl's fault. Even if she knew he was taken, and okay, you could call her a whore, you could call her a bitch, you could call her shitty, whatever. She still owes you no loyalty.
Yeah.
The person you should be mad at is that man.
Exactly.
Period.
One girl told me,
unless it's your friend, then you fight your friend.
Okay, if it's a friend or a family member,
you fight your friend.
Yeah,
because you're like, I can't believe you did that to me. But if it's like some stranger, some girl from the bar, some girl at the club, like even if it's like a associate of yours that you're like, she doesn't owe you anything.
No, she really doesn't. She really doesn't.
Your anger needs to be misdirected. But I wrote down an idea that I was just like, before you get into a serious relationship with someone, I think it should be like a societal rule that you get to hang out with the person they dated previously or the person they had a long-term relationship with, and then you guys can sit at a restaurant and share a appetizer tower and validate each other's experiences, because the guy will always be like, my ex was crazy, or the girl will always be like, my ex was this, and it's like, you need to talk to that ex first to get the real story, and then make your decision if you want to date that person.
All right, so hold on. Is the guy gonna be there at the dinner?
No.
So it's just y'all two. How far back though? Because if it's an ex from 5 years ago, he could have. There's some growth in 5 years.
Okay, that's a good point. There is some growth after 5 years, but I'm like, the person you dated previously, that was more than a fling.
Right, so if okay,
it's not just some girl you're messing around with.
Within like a year or 2 years.
Within a year or two where you actually had a relationship and you get to ask them questions like,
yeah, that's a good idea.
And then you get to validate each other's experiences, because I'm sure there's going to be a lot of crossovers where like, oh, he gaslit you too. Oh, he was this too. Oh, he was, because a lot of guys will like mistreat you and be like, oh, it's because you're doing this, and it's like, no, that's just your character.
That's your character.
So if you get other women to validate your experiences, then you get to like see the truth. Mm-hmm. Also, a lot of women are very crazy, and you don't see it for a long time. So it's like, if you go out with her exes and they also are like, oh, that bitch is wild.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, okay, it's not just me. I'm not crazy.
Would your ex tell your new man something that you're crazy?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
I think my ex-husband would be like, stay away.
Yeah.
But also, it was so long ago. I've also grown. So to back to your point,
exactly. For me,
it was years ago.
Last guy I was talking to, he probably would tell my new man, like, just have your shit together, bro. He's not gonna say I'm crazy, but he gonna tell you have your shit together.
There's also like
she's expensive.
I feel like women also become, because there was some stat I saw that women are a lot more unhappy than men, like later on in life, like women in their 30s and 40s.
Really?
And I think a lot of it is because, I mean, especially because there was a red pills talk where it was more like 70% of divorces are initiated by women.
Okay.
And that's why most...
You said 75?
Like 70% of divorces are initiated by women. And most lesbians get a divorce and most gay men stay married long term. And I feel like women, their life goal can be like, I want to get married and have kids. And that's what they live their whole life trying to achieve. And once they get that, they're like, okay, what now?
Right.
Because it's like, I got what I wanted. I lived my life to get a man and a kid, and now I have that, and now I'm unfulfilled.
Well, that's because they was looking for that to validate their life.
Yes.
I have comedy. I have so much shit outside of
women are just like, I'm living to get married and have a kid.
And I know
now I got married and have a kid. What do I do?
My sister was like that. A lot of people, you know,
they become unhappy.
That's their goal. Well, yeah. I mean, my sister seems like she doing all right, but I feel like a lot of women would I just want a husband and kids, husband, kids, husband, and I want that shit too, but.
It can't be the whole.
It's not my goal. Is like I see it when I think of what I want, like what I would die for. Definitely comedy, and then my family's like right after. Like
I always tell women like you should always have your own life and your own money and your own job. And it's not because he might leave you and you need to be financially secure. Obviously that's part of it. But also you need some sense of individuality and to just feel fulfilled. And if you're living your life just to get married and have kids, once you get that done. You're like,
you have nothing else.
You're 35 and
what's next?
Exactly. They start fucking the pool boy.
Yeah. And you resent your family. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Now I'm unhappy.
So back to your friend, like, what do you think she should do? Like, what's her next move?
So I mean, I hit some people up in Philly and was like, yo, you know anybody who's hiring off the book work, but I don't know how to help shorty.
Women often choose the guy they know that they're not supposed to choose, and they still do it, and then end up regretting it.
I just feel like the same thing. Like when I see homeless women with a man, I'm like, why are you with him begging on 42nd Street? Like you could like aim a little higher, bitch. At least fuck with somebody who live with their mama.
How does this man just be okay with his kid being in a homeless shelter?
Piece of shit. That's my thing. My thing is I would have took my son. Like if I have somewhere to stay, I'd be like, shorty, I'm sorry, I don't have a space for both of y'all, but my son can come.
Yeah, at least take the kid.
That's my thing. Now you got to look at it. Now, wow, I got pregnant for somebody who can't help my situation, and he don't give a fuck that his son is homeless.
Yeah,
that's a double whammy.
Relationships are hard. Stay single. Enjoy your life.
When your situation is super duper fucked up, just stay to yourself. Unless you can fuck somebody who can help you. Because if God forbid an accident happened, you end up pregnant. What now?
You know, I tried the whole get married for love. It didn't work. So my next marriage is going to be for money.
I've dated for love too.
It don't work out.
It isn't.
Marry for money.
Yeah. I think that's what it is.
Be smart.
Yeah.
Don't make mistakes. Don't make the mistakes that us rookies make. Trying to find somebody you love. Oh, he got money? Oh, okay. Because the broke motherfuckers cheat. The rich motherfuckers cheat. Might as well cry in a Lambo than cry on the bus.
Right.
Because I took the bus to the city today. And it was not fun.
Oh, man, y'all.
So if you got money, slide in my DMs.
Right?
Thank you, guys.
Oh, that was it? Damn, this should go by
20
so
minutes.
Quick. Okay. Bye, y'all. Love y'all.
Subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe and follow us on the gram. Bye.